Hello, Toby Woods, Kaine. This is my lovely Hughes Kettner Tubemeister 40 that I've used pretty much, well, not pretty much, I've used the entirety of the time I've been in Kaine. It is on every single recorded release, whether that be studio or live. It's been pretty much the only constant part of my rig that I've kept the same. Everything else is, I've gone through countless guitars, multiple different pedal boards and different pedals. But the one thing that stayed the same is the Hughes Kettner. I was always a Marshall fan, and we went to Anderton's to buy a Marshall, and that was on the shelf. And I thought it was cool how it's all clear and you could see everything inside. So we plugged it in and I played literally one chord on the clean sound, and that was just enough to sell me. This is the cab. It's a Tubemeister, just the Tubemeister 212, and it's two Celestion V30s in there. I only really use the lead channel. The clean channel I use in the studio, and the crunch channel I very rarely use. It's not quite as tight of a gain. It doesn't fit the tight riffage that we do. And for solos, I have this TC Electronic Rush booster that I run in the effects loop, and that is just enough to just push me above Rage's guitar. The reason I ended up buying this, because I was looking at the Marshall Silver Jubilee micro head, and I was playing a big 50 watt Marshall with a 412, and I was just getting tired of carrying that around to gigs. So it weighs pretty much nothing. So it's really easy to load in and out and take up flights of stairs when we're playing venues that are up about 16 flights of stairs on the top of a skyscraper in Southend. It also features a red box. What that is it's a cab emulator. So you can plug an XLR straight in and run straight out into a desk, so you don't even have to mic up the cab. You can just use that, and you can even use the head completely silently. It will turn all the tubes off and it will stay safe. And we use that quite often because that's nice to blend with the mic'd up tones as well. That's amp. The cab, on the other hand, is very heavy, but that's what you get for tone. Everything's wired with D'Addario cables. So I use D'Addario speaker cables and the American stage cables. I sometimes do run a Shure GLXD wireless, but I've found recently I don't really need it. I've just been using this American stage cable, and I really like it. D'Addario. I use their strings as well. This is my current favourite guitar. It's a Grassroots G-Horizon, and Grassroots isn't a brand you get commonly outside of Japan. It's one of ESP's Japan-only brands. They tend to make a lot of Gibson copies and Fender copies, but they also make really, really good, affordable ESP models as well. And I've always loved the Horizon shape. It's just a very comfortable sort of super strat. I believe it's a set neck, but it's shaped like a neck through. So you got really easy access to the widdly frets. And I like to stick stickers on all my guitars, and this one has a little Michael Myers because he's a personal hero of mine, and I aspire to be just as personality-less, I suppose, as him. I've changed a couple of things about it, because obviously being a budget guitar, there are a couple of things that weren't quite as good as I needed them to be. So the very first thing I did was I stuck a set of Marty Friedman EMGs in there. The Marty Friedman EMG is without a doubt the best pickup that has ever been made by anybody. I've owned two Marty Friedman Jacksons, which both had the EMGs in. I stuck them in another guitar. They're fairly similar sounding to the 81, 85 set, but they're passive, which is a big advantage because 9-volt batteries are a nightmare and they're expensive. The only other thing I changed on it was I put a set of Gotoh tuners on there because it came with some cheap locking tuners and they were fine, but the locking aspect of it, the higher strings sort of slipped out occasionally. So I went with Gotoh because one of my other ESPs had Gotoh tuners and they are very solid. And previous to today, I hadn't played it in about 2 weeks. I got it straight out of the case and it was in tune. So thank Gotoh. I string all my guitars, regardless of scale length. If they're in standard tuning, I use these D'Addario 12 to 54 strings, which is quite a heavy gauge, but I have an incredibly heavy right hand, and I think one of my first gigs when we played Norwich, I was using 10s, and I heard some of the footage back and I was wildly out of tune. So I went to 11s, and then I just wanted to impress people. So I went to 12s because it's heavy, and I like to play heavy. I also use the D'Addario picks. This is a Duralin Precision, 1.2 mil. Basically everything that's not an instrument or an amp is D'Addario. So for the most part, D'Addario straps, always D'Addario picks, D'Addario cables, even the patch cables are D'Addario. I have a little clip-on tuner. Well, it's not even clipped on, it's screwed in, but that's a little D'Addario micro tuner. So go to D'Addario for all your musical accessories.